I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. I thought today we'd talk a little bit about perfume, which I haven't done in a little bit. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is while I was shopping for the Sephora sale, I remembered that I had been seeing some ads on YouTube for a new perfume, and the ads had this kind of 60s, early 70s vibe. It was very hippy-dippy, but rich hippie, like filthy rich hippie, because they were wearing Gucci clothes. And it kind of piqued my interest. So when I was at Sephora the other day, was it yesterday? I went to two Sephoras yesterday looking for my goodies, and I went over to the perfume area and I said, what has come out that's new? Now, let's just stop right here. I am not a snob when it comes to my skincare. I don't think you need to spend $300 on a serum. I don't even think you need to spend $100 on a serum or $100 on an essence. As you saw, if you saw my skincare Sephora wish list, I was considering getting an essence from Estee Lauder that was $100, and I just can't do that. For my makeup, I can do drugstore. I can do a high-ish end. I refuse to do like Tom Ford stuff. I just refuse. So I think you can get beautiful perfumes all over the place at all different price points, but personally, I think the things that are widely available at Macy's and Bloomingdale's and Sephora tend to be kind of pedestrian. They're made for the masses, and I don't find them interesting or appealing. I just don't. I am a snob when it comes to perfume. The last perfume that really wowed me, and it was the first one that had wowed me in years and years and years, that was widely available, was Nomad from Chloe. Beautiful, unique scent. Now, this scent, what's interesting is the things that are widely available are just as expensive as the things that are harder to find, but so much more interesting. So I went over to the perfume area. I asked the SA what has come out, but I couldn't remember the name of it. And she sprayed something from Lancome for me, and I was like, ew, P-U, like roses? I don't know. It's so uninteresting. Sprayed another thing for me that was that, you know, your skin but better. I can't really smell you, but you're going to pay $150 for it. No. Something else? No. And then I saw the bottle. And this is what it is. It's the Gucci Memoire d'une Odeur. It's just like odor, but without the strong E, so Odeur. Memoire d'une Odeur. And here's the marketing thing. The marketing is brilliant, okay? Let me just say. The marketing for this is a time from the past connecting to the time that you are presently in. It's where your memories get lost from the truth and you don't know which way is which, where you are. It is a beautiful ad, beautiful colors, beautiful clothes, beautiful idea. Just if you didn't live in that time period of the 60s, early 70s, what you imagined it can be. And the perfume is what you imagine people smelled like then. And I can absolutely see how you would think this is what people smelled like. I guarantee you it is not what they smelled like. You can easily find out what the best sellers were during that period of time, and it wasn't anything like this, but it doesn't matter. It evokes the idea of what you think these people smell like. Now, Harry Styles is part of the marketing campaign for this, and that's because this is 100% unisex. I love it. I can absolutely see a man wearing it. I didn't look up the notes. I didn't know anything about it. I sprayed it on, and leather came to mind. This is leather. And I kept on sniffing. I'm trying to put my finger on what is going on in this. And I thought maybe some patchouli. I got a sample made. I went to a different Sephora to look for something else. This foundation, in fact. If you want a review on this, I love this. This is Pretty Vulgar. I can't remember the name of the foundation, but the Pretty Vulgar new foundation. So I went to another Sephora and smelled it again, and I decided to get the rollerball. Then I came home and I looked everything up. There's a couple things I want to say about this. Rollerballs are not ideal for perfume, for eau de toilette or eau de parfum. They're not good. They're good for perfume or parfum, for pure perfume. So a pure perfume comes with a bottle that with a dabber. You know, you take the dabber out, you dab on your pulse points, and it just kind of blooms. Eau de toilette and eau de parfum, EDT, EDP should be sprayed. In this case, especially this should be sprayed because this is a cologne. This should be a splash cologne, honestly. Rollerball is not the way to do it. And the reason I say that is because this is a skin scent. Even though it smells amazing when you first spray it on, within a very, very, very short while, there's just a little bit, and you really have to kind of bring your arm up to smell it. In those cases, I oftentimes will spray my clothes, so at least when I'm moving around, if I'm lucky, I'll get hit with the scent. So that's something I just wanted to say about this. 1, it's a cologne. 2, it's unisex. 3, a rollerball, not the way to go. I might have to go back, return the rollerball, and get the bottle. We'll see. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this. The notes are chamomile, and once they said that, I'm like, of course. Chamomile is rarely found in perfume. I can't think of one perfume that has chamomile as a note, but Trader Joe's sells bunches of chamomile, and when they're around, when they're not there year round, I always buy them and I put them in a vase in the living room because they have this country feel. And the vase is behind me, behind the sofa on a sofa table, so I get to smell it while I'm sitting on the sofa. It's a beautiful scent, a lot like chamomile tea. They also have jasmine, which I don't get, cedarwood and sandalwood. I love sandalwood. And musk. Musk can mean anything. And apparently bitter almond. And almond is one I really like. Almond can be sweet, it can be savory, but it's always interesting and something that I happen to like. The perfumer I have never heard of. His name is Alberto Morales. Not Morales, but Morales with an I. And he is Spanish. He's from Sevilla. And I had never heard of him, which made me think he must do more the, widely distributed kind of perfumes and not the niche stuff, or I would know who he was. Or he's never made anything that I've really liked, so the name hasn't stuck with me. And I was right on both counts for the most part. But let me tell you, this is a guy who has done a lot of perfumes. He has done Roger and Gallet, or it could be Roger et Gallet. I don't know if it's French or British, but that's like a drugstore. You find those in drugstores. And he's also done by Kilian, which is very expensive. He has done YSL, Belle d'Opium, but he also did M7 for YSL, which was made years ago, and it's a male cologne. He did Terry Mugler's cologne, which I have never smelled, but it has a legend that it's a beautiful, amazing, simple, unique men's cologne. So he's done men and women, which makes him well-versed or well-positioned or a good option, a good candidate, which makes him a good candidate to do a unisex scent right now for Gucci. He's done things for... He did Estee Lauder Pleasures years and years ago. That was a huge hit. And it's actually a beautiful scent. It just isn't very stable. He's done a couple of things for Le Labo. He's done some Kenzo. He's done things for Izumiyaki, which is, the Your Skin, but I Can Barely Smell You Fragrance House, Ferragamo, Carolina Herrera, Salvador Dali, tons. He's just done tons. Versace, tons and tons of stuff, but never came across for me. This is so unique. I think you need to sniff it. Just go smell it and bring your man with you, or your brother or your dad, or whatever the case may be, because if he doesn't want to smell that typical men's cologne, this is a good way to go. Now, while I'm here, I wanted to bring up something else because it reminded me, leather is a very weird note for me. They say there's no leather in here. I believe them. It reminds me of leather. Leather to me can smell oily. Like if you think of a mechanic who doesn't wear gloves and what their hands might smell like after working on a car all day long, to me that's like an oily leather and I don't like it. But I like a sweet leather or something a little drier. It can be a very difficult note for me. But my favorite leather is something that was never released in the United States officially. I think it was available in discount houses online, and you can absolutely get this online, or I wouldn't be mentioning it. It is really well worth having, and that is this. This is called Cuir de Lancome, and I'm sure I'm saying the cuir wrong, but I believe that is French for leather. This is my bottle, my coveted bottle. Leathers usually, to me, they're quite heavy, and you don't think of them for any season but fall and winter. But this is a spring, even summer leather because it sits on a bed of florals. It doesn't knock you out with the florals, but this is not a bitter leather, it's not an oily leather, it's not a heavy leather, and it's not a masculine leather. Men can wear this, but this is not a masculine. I want to tell you a little bit about it. The perfumers were Calise Becker and Paulina Zanoni. Calise Becker has done a billion things, but I think she might have been the house nose for By Kilian because she's done 27 fragrances for them. And that is a high quality perfume house with really unique fragrances. The notes, before I tell you the notes, here's some really interesting history. This was, I think in 2007 it came out, and it was a reboot or reorchestration of a 1936 release by Lancome called Rivolte. I just put an Italian edge by going the d. I'm not sure how you would say revolt in France. Revolt, no, I keep on going for Italian. Revolt. Rivolte, probably that, Rivolte. And then they changed the name to Cuir. This kind of reminds me of this, just because of the leather notes, which they say aren't in here. If you love, love, love this, but you're not getting it, it's just after 15 minutes you don't smell it anymore, or you just want it near your nose, this is what I did. I sprayed this on my ankle. It's quite strong, it stays for a long time, and between this and my ankle, so it kind of comes up, but it's not destroying this, they're really great together. I know that's crazy, but I just needed to share it with you. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up, I was testing the Fenty, as you know, or maybe you don't, maybe you're just here for the perfume, and it had a really nice scent, and I said, you know what, I think it's Heliotrope. It reminds me of a perfume that I own, and I wanted to talk about that perfume, and that is this. And this is called Heliotrope, and it is made by Etro, and it used to be you could find Etro at Barney's, but I think the only place you can find Etro now is at an Etro store, and of course they have a site online, and they have a really interesting line. A lot of their perfumes are like one note, like Dianthus, which is carnation. But there's more than one note going on. I could not find who the perfumer was for this, which is kind of interesting. But the notes are opening Mayflower and orange blossom, and that the middle notes are heliotrope and sweet almond. I think of sweet almond and heliotrope as pretty much hand in hand. They are very, very close to each other. And then, you know, the base notes, who cares? Did I really say that? Yeah, I did. This, if you like the smell of the Fenty foundation, and I think it's great, you might want to look at the Etro. You can get it online. It's well worth having a sniff. To me, this is sweet, and yet it's diaphanous. There is a gossamer quality to it. It is not heavy, and it is more of a skin scent, so you'll initially get that headiness of the heliotrope and the almond, and then it kind of fades away. There's a lightness to it, and to me it's a spring-like scent, but not a wet spring-like scent. Like, you know, when you think of Guerlain's, what is it, Delande? Shoot, I can't remember what it is. Après Delande? I can't remember what it is, but there are some spring scents that smell like the spring after it's just rained. and there's a coolness about it and a wetness about it. This is not that. This is spring, a couple of days after it rained, where the temperatures have suddenly gotten high. So it's no longer in the 60s or 50s, depending on where you live, but you got an 80 Fahrenheit day out of the blue. So all the flowers that are coming up because of that gentle sun, that gentle warmth, and all that rain, boom, they bloomed. And it's those spring scents, those certain kind of florals that only bloom for that short period of time, for maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks. That's what this reminds me of. It could be good in the summer if you like the scent. It doesn't really matter. For me, not so much in the winter, not so much in the fall. But I just wanted to mention that because I thought of it when I did the Fenty. I wanted to mention the Lancome because I thought of that when I smelled the Gucci, and I wanted to mention the Gucci because this is so unique. This is different than anything else that is coming out in the mainstream right now. And Gucci's, packaging is beautiful. Their marketing is spot on for this one. It's, A++ for the marketing, but A++ for the composition. Men or women, I shit you not. Give it a try next time at your Sephora. Let me know if you like it or not. I'm really curious. And that's going to be it for me. I hope it was informative. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you come back again. Until then, I'm wishing you a great day.